Hi everybody, welcome back to Big Rock Overland. My name is Corey, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the new soft shell rooftop tent from OPENROAD. This thing is awesome. We're going to be talking about its standout features, and we're going to talk about how we got it mounted up on top of the Jeep and some of the things that we really love about this tent. So stick around, you're going to really like this one. Okay, since we already have the tent installed and I am going to walk you through how to install it, I'm not going to show you how to put the bag on. It's really simple, it really is. So it's going to look like a lot, but there's two pieces to this bag. First of all, it doesn't come connected to the tent, and it comes as one piece. And the second piece is the part that zips. So this part here unzips from the bag itself, and then it has like, this is like the base. It's like a little slider track system. And all you do, just like the gear bag, is you slide it in that track system all the way around. And you gotta feed it from this corner to that corner to that corner, and then up over here again. And then it'll make it really easy to just toss this bag on top and then just zip it on. Super simple. But in order to install this tent, once you've got it up on top of your truck and you've decided how or where you're going to mount it, it's really simple. It comes with 4 of these little plates here, and it comes with these locking nuts. They go on these bolts right here, and they literally just slide in this little track system. You can kind of see the shape of it right here, and they slide right along that like pretty easily. Now I took an extra step and put some felt pads right here just to eliminate rubbing for my rack, and then all you do is you feed it through just like that, and then center down. So you're going to take a 13 size socket. I have an electric wrench here, and I'm just going to get this started on this bolt real quick. Alright, I forgot to show this when I was filming for the tent earlier, so I'm going to have to do it after the fact. Bear with me here. I'm going to use my phone. So this little bracket here is separate. It's not connected to the tent, and it's not connected to the ladder. It's this little piece right here. So you're going to take that piece, and I think it's easier to mount it to the tent first. And you've got these 2 little bolts here to do that, and they're going to feed up inside the tent. So you got to come up into here and look up underneath the mattress right there. And that right there is where the bolts are. And they give you a little bitty wrench. So you're going to use that little wrench that they give you to hold the top of these bolts right here, and then you'll screw it in from the bottom up. And then once the base is actually mounted to the bottom of the tent here for the ladder, then you just mount the ladder to that, like I was saying, with the nut here, the little plastic washer that they give you, and a nylon locking nut. And then once you just screw those together on both ends, your tent is securely mounted and you're good to go. They give you these little rubber boots, and you literally just put that right on the end, just like that, and you're done. And now your tent is mounted. And you just unzip the bag. I think we should put some 550 cord on this zipper end here just so we can grab this a little easier.
And find it.
Time to unstrap my ladder and push it to the other side as I'm taking the bag off. You've got 2 options. You can either leave your bag on here like this. I actually have stuff underneath here that I want to access, and I don't really care to leave this bag up here like this. It's really easy to remove it, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. It literally takes 10 seconds. Next, you undo the 2 straps that hold the actual tent together.
And there's what, 1 on each of the back corners?
That's it. Now that we've got the ladder extended and pulled all the way out, and the tent is unfastened, we literally just pull, and it's as easy as that. like to pull the tent out, pull it all the way down so that it's nice and level, and then use your ladder to help level. And I like to make sure this ladder is nice and locked in, because if it's not, as an example, like this, watch. So if I have this on here like this, where it's not locked in on these steps and I go to step on it, it's gonna pull it down. Look, see that right there? That's what you don't want. So find a spot in your ladder where it locks in. You'll hear it click. Oh, it clicked. Just like that. Where when I step on it, this ladder don't compress. And then you just lift up just slightly on the platform to put the weight on the ladder, and then you use the ladder to hold the platform up, and that is literally it. Then it's just putting up all your rain fly poles and everything from there. You'll be looking for these little slits like this right here, and inside that little slit, I don't know if you can see that, is a hole, and these holes are angled very specifically where these poles have to come in kind of like this. So you open that up, you find that little hole there, stick the pole in, and then that's it. I don't know how well you can see in here, but when you come inside here, you're gonna have these, you should have these bungee cords strapped up, and they've got hooks on each end. And it's still just a little bungee strap. You just strap it all the way across, and that's what helps keep the fabric pulled inward to stow the tent away correctly. And that's pretty much it. Once you put your rain flies up, you're set up and you're good to go. That's it. Starting on the outside of the tent, first of all, one of my favorite features so far actually is this little hole right here. It doesn't look like much, but when you pull this little flat back right here, and I'll show you inside too, there's a little hole right here that cinches down, and you can put your diesel heater holes, like a dryer vent hose in here, and we run a diesel heater in the winter time, and this is awesome because this is just a really much more efficient way than having to like try to zip our hose like up in the tent window and all this other janky things, or maybe buying this like 3D printed little fitting thing to zip it in the window. With this, we can literally just push it right in there, and let me tell you, it works really well. We've already used it a couple times, and we had to turn it down both nights that we used it with the heater, and it heats really, really well. I was actually very impressed because the fabric doesn't feel super thick, but it is a completely blackout material. It is completely waterproof, and it's all 4 seasons, I believe. So it's gonna hold up to pretty much everything that you throw at it. In extremely cold temperatures, you might consider trying to find some form of a thermal liner or something like that, maybe even with a heater, just to cut down on some of the cold that can get in, because we've had some experiences with tents where cold still gets in no matter what tent you've got, unless you've got something that's really just kind of closed, you know. All right, and last thing about the outside of the tent, really the standout features here, the rain flies are really good. I really like them, and the poles that are used for the rain flies are pretty awesome too. And instead of just having just a normal like hook shape, they have quite a bit of a little bit deeper on the end here, and that really helps secure them in place to make sure that these poles are not going to come out no matter how windy it gets. And on top of that, there's windows all over this thing. I mean, this thing has massive windows, and that's one of my absolute favorite standout features about this one is the windows. And I think Kayla actually has one of her favorites is on the inside. But before we get there, let's talk about this situation here. So you're gonna notice that our rain fly on this back end isn't actually popped up, and it's because of my awning. Because of this awning and this way this mounts to our rack, I'm unable to open this side of the tent. And so we just keep this rain fly back cinched down really tight, that way it doesn't flap and do anything like that, and that actually adds a lot more wind protection too, I think. But let's get inside here and show you guys what it looks like. This thing is awesome. You're gonna love this. Check this out. All right, check this out. Isn't that awesome? All of these windows are double layered, so you've got the mosquito netting You've got it where you can completely open it. You've got the mosquito netting, and then you've got the covered window, and then you've got a window here. That's the back side where our awning is. I'm at where the door is, and then that's the other window. And then you also have this really awesome sunlight hole here. We call it a moon roof, but you know, different names. Isn't that awesome? LED light, doesn't dim, it's just a straight on, straight off. It pulls 3 watts and it's got a little USB cord. It just runs the top of there. And what's actually cool about that, let me get up here and show you. What's cool about this LED light is that it's inside a little water protected cover. And what's nice about that, and I know that sounds silly, but what's really nice about that is our other tent, our light literally got ruined like a week after we got it, and it just never worked ever again. And so hopefully that will absolutely help hold the moisture out and make sure that it stays in working condition much longer. This thing is sweet. There's so much room in here. So I didn't talk about this while we were on the outside, but there are actually 2 different diesel heater holes. So that was the one that I showed, which is on the back of the Jeep, but there's actually another one right here that's towards the front of the Jeep. How cool is that? And look at the quality of this tent fabric. It is so awesome. Even the mattress is really good.
The mattress is almost 2.5 inches thick. And a lot of these, our last one I didn't like, we pulled it out, but this one, I broke my back and this one does not hurt my back. Like, I feel like I can get up.
My head isn't where I would lay comfortably without my head actually touching the top. This is where I would legitimately lay. And so I've got probably, I'd say probably a good 4 inches above my head. And then this is completely stretched out.
Yeah.
You still got over a foot, 1.5 feet, 2 feet to my foot.
It's about 2 feet probably you got on the end there.
Yeah, which is nice for us because when it's just Kayla and I, that means we can put extra gear and stuff up in here. But what's really cool, and the reason that we like this style of tent quite a bit more than the clamshell tent, is because eventually we're going to be getting a platform rack for the top of our cab, and that way we can have some boxes right outside this window, and then we'll just literally fold this window down and we'll have access to clothes or snacks or whatever we want to, literally just right there, and really complete our glamping setup so I don't have to get out of my tent.
So now we just gotta pull these off from the inside. Second one.
Go.
Take this and stick it in. And this one.
They have these little bungee straps that actually help pull the sidewalls in, and they've got attachment points on each side. And so that's basically what you'll do is there's what, 4 of those?
There's 4. There's
2 for the top and 2 for the bottom or middle. And then so when you go to fold the tent up, that's gonna pull the fabric in and really help you fold this tent all the way in without any issues. And I'm gonna show you exactly how. Take your gear bag out. I try to fold these sides up because it makes it a lot easier to put the bag on once you get it all the way up. And that'll also help expose the zipper liner for the bag.
Okay.
The ladder itself is pretty light too. The ladder, honestly, I feel like the ladder is just as heavy as the whole tent is to lift it up. It's really easy. So really lightly, all we do is just lift up just like that, and then there it goes. And we just kind of gently let this fall down and kind of just compress, just like that. Real simple. To collapse your ladder, this one's a little bit easier. A lot of them have like little push tab things on them. This one's actually really easy. Literally 2 fingers, just push those in, and there it goes. How easy is that? I know you're mad because the ladder that we had before was so difficult to get it to collapse. It was a nightmare. I know this is a weird like thing to be excited about, but this is awesome. Little tip that one of our friends, Brent, actually gave us, our tent poles. We have a little spacing actually right here. And we just put our little tent poles literally right there. All right, so the next step is to get the bag back on the top. And to do this, it actually goes on inside out. So, meaning you gotta feed it in, like this is the inside of, like, so you see this is the outside of the bag, this is the inside of the bag. You have to fold it like this. That way the inside will go on top of the tent. It's real simple. Just like your gear bag, it has a track system that you just slide this right on into. So just like that, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
A little more.
Flip the bag all the way up over the top now. Oh, we skipped a step. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna strap it. All right, so before you get the bag on, I actually forgot because I went to go put the bag on and I was like, oh, duh. You have to strap it down. It's got two straps, one on each side. So one's on the front and one's on the back. And it looks just like this right here. So this is the strap right here. And then on the top part of it, on the hard part, you've got this little loop. And you just feed it through that loop. And then cinch her down, just like that. You don't even have to pull it like super, super tight. Just, you know, tight it reasonably tight, but you don't have to like really like, you know. Just like that. It doesn't take a whole lot of force literally at all. You can see if I push down, there's still room. So we could make this tighter, but it doesn't need to be tighter. Honestly, this is perfect. You just pull this bag all the way over and zip it down. Stop. So what I have found is a little easier, honestly, is to just fold. So these have like little Velcro straps that help you a little bit. I'll just fold these up and expose that zipper liner that's right there. And that makes it a lot easier. All that goes up inside. I will say, for us, this is by far the most difficult part of the whole process, is putting the bag on. It's tedious and it's annoying, but it is what it is. It's a necessary evil. I don't ultimately mind it, but it does take a little bit of time. I think the bulk of the time is getting the bag on and the bag off because of the zipper style instead of the Velcro style. But I honestly think it's just because of how our setup is currently, because if we had access to the tent all the way around, this would be super easy. This would be really easy. But with our awning here, it's really making this quite a bit more difficult than it normally would be. And if you had a different way to mount your awning, that's what you should do. All right, last step is to get these straps over, and your ladder will be right on top. We'll get up here and I'll show you. The last thing to do to store your tent is to pull these straps all the way across and cinch them down. And so just like on the other straps, I like to go around the side of the ladder here. That way the ladder is here and not going on top of the ladder, because this base, this platform this is built on, is aluminum, and you're gonna dent the ever-living crap out of it if you cinch this down on top of the ladder. So I come beside the ladder to hold it in place so the ladder won't move and stuff like that, which it shouldn't anyways, but just for peace of mind. And then all we do is center down, just like that. So what?
So how hard was that for you, doing it all by yourself?
Doing it all by myself, what, on like a 1 to 10? Honestly, it was really easy. Maybe like a 3 out of 10. Really, it was really easy. But it was time consuming by yourself. And really, again, just the bag. Everything else about this whole setup is actually really easy. I think my one complaint is the zipper style of the bag. Not even the bag itself, because the bag itself is actually really good quality. I mean, it is. I think if it were Velcro instead of a zipper liner, I think that would be probably preferred. But maybe this will last a lot longer in the long run versus the zipper ones will, or the Velcro ones will. Maybe eventually the Velcro ones, the Velcro comes apart or something, you know? So maybe this will be more durable in the long run. I don't know, we'll have to find out. But all in all, I am extremely happy with this tent, and even with my complaint about the bag, I would hands down buy this tent with my own money, absolutely. However, for you, you'll have to think about the features for yourself and whether this tent is going to be the right fit for you, your family, and your setup. So, yeah.
How much is this tent?
This tent runs at, I believe on the website, without a sale, it runs at $13.99 before taxes. But OpenRoad has sales all the time. Check their website all the time. And I do believe they've given us a specific discount code. It's called BRO, B-R-O. So if you use BRO at your checkout, you'll get a discount from there too. That doesn't help our channel or anything, but that'll definitely give you a little bit of help on the price tag. However, if you use the link in the description below, it's going to take you to the main website just to explain. So if you click on that link and it just takes you to the website, don't be confused. All you got to do is literally search for the tent. Any product that you buy after you click on that link will tell the company that you've found us and that you've ordered it through us. Basically, that's all that it is, and that's how we get credit for it. But yeah. OpenRoad sent us this tent for review. Thank you so much, OpenRoad, for sending us this tent. This is a massive upgrade. You have no idea, how much we were in need of an upgrade. And not because there was anything innately super wrong with the other tent. We needed more room. This thing is nice. This is a really nice tent for $1,400. I'm thoroughly impressed. Heck, I bought the other tent for even more. So, kind of sad I didn't find this one first, to be honest, but so make sure you don't miss yours because they sell out quick. Well, that is our new soft shell rooftop tent from OpenRoad, and it is awesome. This tent has been amazing, and it has completely redefined our host setup and has really opened up the door for a lot of really exciting things coming up in the future. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss it. The build is really going to take a crazy turn pretty soon. I'm really excited about that. But let's continue to talk about the tent. Some of our favorite standout key features. I mean, it's got 4 different pockets for jewelry and technology, phones, stuff like that, wallet, keys, accessories, whatever. It's got the one included gear bag that comes with it. It also comes with the bag that you see that covers the tent, of course. And the ladder, and then the tent itself, and then it comes with all the included hardware that you need to mount it, to mount the ladder.
And the poles.
Oh yeah, and the tent poles. Well, I mean, it comes with the rainfly, but yeah. Just so that I don't mess up the specific specifications of this tent, I'm just gonna go straight to their website, and I'm gonna read it right off the website. So, sleeping capacity, OpenRoad says you can get 2 to 3 people in here, and when it is collapsed, so like in its form that it is now, how tall it is from where it's mounted to the top is 9.8 inches, and then the length at which it runs long ways, so from the back of the truck towards the front of the truck, is going to be 56.3 inches. Now when you fold it out and over and it's completely deployed, now it's going to be 94.5 inches long, and it's going to be a total of 49.6 inches in height to the top to the base. So it really folds up into some pretty compact dimensions and pops up to a pretty big size. I mean, this tent is a huge volume. It's a massive amount of volume in this tent. The tent fabric is a breathable blackout 280 GSM poly cotton canvas, whatever that means. I'm not familiar with this, with the specifications of specifically what that means, but it means, in what OPENROAD is implying, what that means, that it's 4 seasons. So it's going to hold up to UV rays, it's going to hold up to the sun damage, it's going to hold up to wind, it's going to hold up to rain, it's going to hold up to snow.
Now, we have had some we've had a cold night in this tent already where we used a diesel heater, and it definitely kept the heat in.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it really did.
I had to roll windows down.
OPENROAD says this tent weighs 135 pounds or 61 kilograms. A huge comfortability factor for us having the heater holes, because you know, it really is sometimes really difficult to deal with trying to heat your tent in the wintertime. And this, not only does it help it enter the tent safely, we've actually melted the liner off of the sealer off of the edge of our tent on the one that we had, and had to replace the fabric because the heater hose got too hot around where it was coming in our window and melted it. Position, it's not up like super high. I've never understood why they put them really up high, because it's heat rises, so you just be putting it at the top, and if you put it at the bottom, heat would come in from the bottom and rise up, and to me that makes sense. And that's what they've done on this tent. So you can clearly tell that they've really put a lot of thought into the engineering and the design of this tent. It's really, really well made. I am thoroughly impressed.
My favorite part, I'm telling you, my favorite part is the moon roof.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite features. I think it's a combination for me of the space that it offers at the price point that it was, how many windows there are, and the moonroof.
There's 5 windows.
That's so many windows.
There's 5 windows.
And they're huge, which in Arkansas is godsend, because if you're familiar with Arkansas at all, we get heat indexes here of like 115 degrees Fahrenheit with like 80% humidity. It is awful. And this is going to help ventilate the tent on a whole new level. No more sweat boxing it up. That was some pretty bad nights. I think that's going to do it from us. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you're going to think about getting yourself one, make sure you check in the description down below. Use that link. It's going to take you directly to the website for OPENROAD, where you can find any product they offer. Just search for the tent right there. Use the discount code BRO, B-R-O, at checkout. That's going to save you a little bit of money on some taxes and some stuff like that, and that'll help bring the price down a little bit. And man, this tent is so awesome. Would I buy this tent with my own money? Hands down, absolutely I would have, 100%. I would buy this tent over again. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Corey.
I'm Kayla.
You're watching Big Rock Overland. Make sure you go check out OPENROAD4WheelDrive.com. I believe it's OPENROAD4W.com. Link in the description. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See y'all.